YouTube, man, what's going on? It's LNH back with another video. Now, Kyree Walker again is in the news and he's shocking a lot of people. In my opinion, this dude has been putting in a ton of work, and of course, he's probably one of the most doubted players in high school basketball, and of course, moving forward through this intermediate area until he gets to the NBA, but things in my opinion are looking very good. Now, of course, I had recently reported on Kyree Walker actually trying out for a number of different teams, and some people didn't even think this was real. A lot of people thought that the tweets that he was putting out and the information that was out there about the teams he was going to work out for was fake. A lot of people didn't even believe it, but man, he's been putting pictures on his Instagram, putting out a ton of tweets of all the teams that he's been working out with. And man, I gotta say, it looks like Kyree Walker has a ton of interest from these NBA teams, which means what? He definitely has a shot at getting signed to one of these teams. He may not end up getting drafted, but I for sure see this dude at least getting on some NBA team, and I'm gonna explain why. Now, Kyree Walker actually is currently worked out with the Houston Rockets, Detroit Pistons, LA Clippers very recently, and the Orlando Magic, and he actually even tweeted that he was super happy with his performance and that basically things were looking very good for him. He thought he performed very well in these workouts, which means something a lot of people are not talking about. But take a look at this tweet. "I'm still shocked, the logo, and I had a full conversation, was really happy with my performance." Now, of course, he is talking in facts that he actually spoke with Jerry West while he was at one of his workouts, but this dude clearly said he performed pretty well, and man, I think he's gonna shock a lot of people. Honestly, I don't see this dude getting drafted just because he's already too far removed. I think they already have a ton of recruits that probably, in my opinion, they're more interested in getting in that first draft, but for sure at least getting signed somewhere. I just see this dude probably getting signed the way that he's been playing, and I even saw a picture of something that a lot of people are forgetting about Kyree. Now, when we take a look at this picture and look at the rankings, man, Kyree Walker is actually ranked number 1 in the country at this time in high school, and a lot of people thought this was cap. Of course, there had been a ton of rumors going around and really unclear ideas as to what happened and why Kyree Walker really was deranked, but in my opinion, this is some type of proof to state that Kyree Walker was really one of the top dogs in his class at the time, and of course was deranked farther down the line, but a lot of people didn't even believe this was true. But yes, Kyree Walker was indeed ranked higher than people like Jalen Green, which says something about this dude's talent and of course probably what people saw in him at the time. Now, even previously, before, of course, not going to college and going an alternative route, Kyree Walker actually was committed to Arizona State and had, of course, a number of other D1 offers. Now, what's interesting about this dude actually is that, of course, him being 6'7" and a very solid guard, I think his build is perfect for the NBA. He definitely has the type of weight where you're not going to throw him around, but still has a lot of athleticism to where he can dunk the ball and move up the court very well. Now, of course, as I had stated, I don't believe he's going to get drafted, but there's actually an article going around that is actually saying Kyree Walker is a potential second-round pick per NBA draft room. And I know I had previously talked about this, but a lot of you guys are not noticing. Man, previously, the NBA draft boards did not even have Kyree Walker on their radar. I talked about this as well and thought that was probably the main reason why Kyree wouldn't actually get drafted. But now that reports are coming out stating that he is on some type of draft boards, I think this is really interesting in showing how his career and of course how his stock is currently rising the way that he's performing with a number of these teams. And of course, if you interest one team, man, probably other teams are going to have some type of interest because they see something in you, and I think his stock is only going to rise. But man, this is super interesting to see that he's starting to prove a lot of people wrong. A lot of people didn't even think he would be able to get to this point. Now, sources are actually stating that some of Kyree Walker's strengths are, of course, his handling and his ability to get to the paint. You guys know this dude has been a bully since he was very young, was very good at getting to the paint, finishing in close, in transition, and man, he just has a knack for that in his game. Now, his weaknesses, on the other hand, are his ball dominance, limited length, and inconsistent outside shooting. Now, I know we all saw that video that Kyree Walker had recently put out about his improved shooting, but clearly from the reports here, it doesn't look like his shooting, of course, probably the three at this point, is the best. And I think that's something for sure he's going to have to work on if you want to be able to survive at the next level. You guys know this by now, of course, at the next level, man, it's almost like anyone can shoot unless you're a freak athlete or can do something very, very well and outperform other players in the league. You have to be able to shoot the ball. And of course, taller players are starting to be able to do even more things, such as dribble the ball and be able to really handle and get to the basket and of course shoot. So Kyree Walker is no exception. The rule 6'7" is definitely a good height, but if he could improve that jump shot, and of course this type of length, he really can't control it all. Of course, limited length and height, that's something he can't control. But really shooting, if he could improve that, I think for sure this dude could be a very solid prospect. And I think a lot of people are going to remember his name and say, that's crazy, he really made it to the league. Definitely going to shock a lot of fans in this regard. Now, I think one of the biggest questions we all have for Kyree Walker is if he doesn't get drafted, will he still have an ability to go back to college? And is that something that he will even consider? Now, in my opinion, I definitely don't think at this point this dude is even considering or thinking about going back to college. And the reason I say this is because ever since this dude has graduated from high school and of course went to this training facility, all his focus has been is to get to the NBA. He really hasn't even stated any type of interest in going back to college, but things may change because of course these dudes are actually going to be able to make money off of their name, image, and likeness, which I think can change a lot of things. Of course, a lot of people are fueled to go right from these lower leagues if you're in high school or even college straight to the NBA because you have that ability to make some type of money. But if Kyree Walker was interested or maybe changed his mind and is going to be interested in going to college, man, I think it could be a possibility, but unlikely at this point just because he really hasn't shown too much interest and his goal has always been to go to the NBA. Now, I always say with these younger type of players, it is something that can be a little shaky because of course if you go too early to the NBA, man, it's going to be a tough time for you. It's going to be very tough, and the reason I say this is because you have to be ready to be able to go out there, get buckets, and play your heart out, and honestly be prepared to play against grown men. A lot of these guys sometimes jump the gun just because they have an opportunity to make money and try to get to the league, but overall if you look at their long-term career, sometimes it doesn't pan out as well as they thought it would just because they may have jumped the gun and gone a little bit too early. And some people even thought maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea for Kyree Walker, instead of going from Chameleon BX, the training facility, to NBA and instead going to college, but clearly that is not something that he's really interested in right now. But things may change, but he's definitely seems like he's got good interest from a lot of these NBA teams, which honestly means that that's probably going out of the door. Now, I'm curious, what do you guys think about this whole situation? How will this dude perform in the NBA? I think he definitely has an excellent build, has the athleticism there. If he could just get his shooting a little bit better, he probably could be a tough prospect in the league that a lot of people honestly look at. And I think for sure if he was ranked higher than Jalen Green at one time, man, I think for sure he can compete with these guys. It's just going to take some time, and we really need to see some new updated footage. That's something I got to say, because we haven't seen any of these workout footages of Kyree Walker, and I'd love to get my hands on one of those and really see how is he actually performing in these NBA workouts. I'm sure someone is recording it, but you guys let me know if I missed anything about Kyree Walker, man. For sure excited to see what this dude will do in the future. Man, a lot of people were hating on him. Some people said I hated on him, but hey, at the end of the day, I wish this dude the best. But man, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications, get a notification every time I upload a new video. Man, if you have any video suggestions for me, make sure you leave them in the comments down below. I'm always taking a look at those, and I appreciate all the recent support that we've been getting on the channel, man. All right, so I'll let you know.